Let me tell you a story, not a tale of heroes or villains, not one with battles or kingdoms, but a story woven with truth, the kind of truth that doesn't just enter your ears, but settles in your chest. This is the story of a woman, small in stature, humble in speech, yet immense in compassion. Her name was Mother Teresa. She wasn't born into poverty. In fact, she was born in what is now North Macedonia, into a comfortable home, but something stirred in her, a quiet but persistent calling. And that calling led her far from her birthplace, into the heart of India, into the city of Kolkata, a place of overwhelming beauty and unbearable need. She arrived not with riches, but with resolve, not with a grand strategy, but with open hands. She wore a simple white sari with blue borders, and in that sari she walked through some of the most heart-wrenching scenes the human eye could witness. Crumbling sidewalks lined with sleeping bodies, children with swollen bellies and empty eyes, the dying left alone in alleyways, strangers to love in their final moments. And yet, in all of this, through the hunger, the disease, the homelessness, Mother Teresa saw something that many missed. One day, after years of tending to the poor, she shared a thought, a simple sentence, yet one that struck deeper than most ever dared to go. She said, "We think sometimes that poverty is only being hungry, naked and homeless. The poverty of being unwanted, unloved and uncared for is the greatest poverty." That sentence was more than a quote, it was a mirror held up to society, to the comfortable, to the well-fed and well-clothed, and even to those who themselves might never go hungry, but who lived in emotional silence. Because what she had discovered, and what many of us still struggle to see, is that material poverty, while devastating, is not the only kind of suffering. There's another kind, a quieter, more invisible kind. Have you ever walked through a crowded street and felt completely alone, sat in a room full of people and wondered if anyone would notice if you left? Imagine a man who sleeps on the sidewalk, yes, but also one whose name has not been spoken aloud in weeks. Or a child who gets food in school, maybe even a bed at night, but hasn't been hugged or told, "I love you," in as long as he can remember. Imagine an elderly woman who receives medicine from a clinic, but whose phone hasn't rung in months. This, Mother Teresa said, was poverty too, the poverty of the soul, the ache of being unseen, the ache of being unneeded. And in her quiet, consistent way, she showed us that meeting human needs means more than dropping coins in a jar. It means presence, it means connection, it means asking someone their name and really listening to the answer. It means not turning away when someone seems too broken, too troubled, too difficult. She didn't build palaces, she didn't raise billion-dollar charities, she simply walked with people, held them, cared for them, and through that care, she restored dignity to the discarded. But her message wasn't meant just for missionaries or saints, it was meant for all of us, for the teacher, for the neighbor, for the nurse, for the student sitting beside a lonely classmate, for the person with a few minutes to spare and a heart willing to look beyond their own day. She wanted us to understand that love is not a luxury, it's not a bonus we give when we have time, it is, at its core, a human necessity, just as vital as food or water. We live in a world that measures success in numbers, followers, likes, bank accounts, degrees. But Mother Teresa taught us that the truest measure is how we make others feel. Are we the kind of people who see others, who offer warmth in a cold world, who sit beside someone who's grieving and simply stay? You don't need to go to Kolkata to carry her message, you just need to look up from your phone, meet someone's eyes, and say, "I see you." You just need to take time for that co-worker who always eats lunch alone. You just need to ask your neighbor how they're doing, and really mean it. That is the kind of poverty Mother Teresa was fighting, the quiet poverty that seeps into even the most beautiful homes, the kind that doesn't ask for money, but for presence, for kindness, for love. So today, if you remember anything, remember this: not all hunger is for bread, not all homelessness is for shelter, some people just hunger for kindness, some people just need to know they matter. And the truth is, we all have the power to give that, we all have the ability to lift someone from the greatest poverty, not with money, but with our hearts. That was the story Mother Teresa told, not with